Mr. President, I desire to speak first, very briefly, with respect to the point raised by the senator from Utah, and then with respect to the entire section and its relationship to the issue raised by the amendment offered by the senator from Vermont. First, as to whether it is possible to give assistance to people without giving assistance to governments. The bill, if the amendment of the senator from Vermont were added, would read, "This act shall be deemed to prohibit furnishing economic and financial assistance to the people of any nation." It seems to me, Mr. President, that it might be possible for assistance to be given to the people of a country without its being given to the government. I have in mind that there have been instances in world history of aid having been given across battle lines and of aid which has been given under the supervision of the Red Cross. Under the normal conditions of mutual security, when succor is given another country, the country buys the assistance by putting up counterpart funds. That may not be true in all instances. If the assistance were to be given to the government itself, evidently the assistance would not merely be given to the people of the country, but it would be given to the government, and the government would control it. I can conceive, however, of situations when the government of a country might say, "We will let this material come in and go to a certain organization, such as the Red Cross within that country or some other organization, thereby permitting it to reach the people." In that case, it would be a direct gift to the people, not necessarily a gift or a sale for currency to the country. Mr. President, all the discussion with respect to the amendatory issue involved must be considered in the light of the later language in this section, to which the amendment refers. In most of the discussion, we have been overlooking the fact that the assistance would be conditional upon the President determining that such assistance would strengthen the security of the United States. I refer particularly to the verbiage which appears at line 2 on page 91 and following, which reads, "Whenever the President determines that such assistance will strengthen the security of the United States by enabling the freedom-loving peoples of such nation to achieve a measure of political, economic, and social freedom from Soviet demands or domination." The amendatory language in the bill itself, if we should adopt the committee amendment, would not open the door to giving the assistance without a definite determination by the chief executive that the giving of such succor would be in the interest of the security of the United States. That is not an idle adjudication. It is not merely saying if the President believes. It is not merely saying either if the President thinks. It says, whenever the President shall make a determination. It does not stop there, for later in the paragraph are these words: "The President shall immediately report any determination made pursuant to this section with the reasons, therefore, to the Committee on Foreign Relations and the Committee on Appropriations of the House of Representatives." Therefore, this is not an opening of the door for giving assistance to some nation which may be one of the satellite nations somewhat under the control of the Soviet bloc, but it is a limited opening of the door for assistance whenever the President shall make a determination that such assistance would strengthen the security of the United States and that it would aid us by increasing the social, political, and economic freedom of the freedom-loving countries receiving same. That comes about only when the President makes a pro forma determination and reports it to the several committees of the Senate and House of Representatives. I understand that the distinguished senior senator from New Hampshire has an amendment. And with respect to that amendment, I wish to state as follows. The proposal to give such assistance should not be effective until 60 days after the determination had been reported to the committee which the Congress has in session. Personally, I see no objection to that superseding amendment, as it were, to the amendment. I hope he offers it. I support the amendment because the day has gone when we should use some new methods in the so-called Cold War. The other day, I received a publication issued by a group engaged in research on robots. I was interested in the fact that in the lead editorial, which was borrowed from the Journal of the American Historical Society, the scientists and engineers there were concerned with the problem that merely to pile up more rocks would never win the Cold War.
Pretty good.